Step 1, drain the oil, 17 millimeter drain plug. Have a strong enough friend that can get it loose. Oh my God. Dude, loosen the drain plug. Okay. And we'll loosen that by hand and let it drain into this drain catch. You can just let the plug drop into the thing if you want, or you can take it out by hand. If you let it drop, it won't, it'll make less of a mess. A lot of threads on that. Just let it drop. Let it drop, okay. And let that drain, which it has right at about 1 liter. Now with the oil plug out, we are going to remove this bracket right here so we can access these 8 millimeter bolts. So we're going to do that next. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Go. If I can squeeze that thing. Okay, now. Try it again. Did it spin it?
Are you sure that's the right size?
It is the right size. Is it on? Try it.
There we go. Yeah.
Go ahead and take it off. All right, now swap it out for the other impact socket, the one for the bottom.
Which one, this one?
Yep. Other way.
Or this one down here?
Yep.
All we gotta do is take 2 off, right?
I think we'll probably have enough room.
This may look like it may go to the other side as well. It does.
Does it? Try it. Quickly. Let's see what it does on the other side. Oh, it's at a... Okay. It just came out.
Yeah.
My shoddy camera work. Does it have enough that we can move it with the exhaust still attached?
Well, we probably gotta take these springs and shit off, will we not? No?
I don't know. I was hoping we wouldn't have to. We're gonna have to loosen the exhaust thing.
Yeah.
All we did was take off the 1 single bolt, the Vance and Hines, and pulled it straight off of this. We put a rag up here to not scratch up the exhaust. And then it's just unhooking this cable, which we can do right now, and then taking these bolts off. See if you can push this forward enough to push that cable out. Push it with your... You may need needle noses.
Yeah, I think so.
Here, hold that. See if you can get a good angle. It should just be even. Let me see. There we go. And take the drain plug out, so we'll have the clearance to pull this straight off. Could you imagine having to do all this by hand? all the brackets. There is a seal on the other side of this that we want to be careful with because we're recycling it. So when you do this, you want to make sure that you don't damage that. The filter is a single direction filter right here. And you can see we got just a little piece of metal right here. If you go look at the other videos, people changing the Grom. So whenever you're looking at this white dot on this particular one, that's just indicating that's the upright position, and it goes in like that. So you can actually see a lip here. This will be useful for other people who just pull it out and didn't pay attention. The flat, even portion of this is what goes on the bottom. So it goes right like this, to illustrate that. So right here, that is the bottom. This is the sealing part that goes all the way around the top. It is in the shape of a wedge, and it goes directly in like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean this with some WD-40, and we're gonna clean it off with maybe some brake part cleaner or starting fluid. There's a lot of different solvents you can use to clean this so that it doesn't have anything that'll miss with the clutches. But if you dry it off really well, even if you just use WD-40, it'll be just fine. You don't want it doused in anything because it'll interfere with the oil, because the oil that you use on this has got to meet the friction modifications for the wet clutch, even though it only has about 1 liter. So again, we're gonna clean it off with some WD-40, maybe some starting fluid or brake cleaner, and then we're gonna wipe it down really well and then put it right back in just like this. Okay. So just by spraying the WD-40, that just came off on its own. So another look at this, just take it. And it's clean on both sides. So I'm not even going to use anything else because there's obviously no debris on it or particulates. So we're just going to wipe it down really good. Go around the seal. Just want to directly reinstall it. Okay. We can see that there's no debris in there. If you want, you can take a cloth or something and just wipe right around there and just stick it in there. Nothing has to be too precise because it really won't make too much of a difference. Again, in our case, we have a marker where the white dot is on the top part. Take it in there, you slide it in there, and then before you reinstall the cover, you want to make sure that all of the outer part of this is cleaned off. There is a separate procedure for removing this and cleaning inside of it. This has got 600 miles on it. It's not gonna be that important. So now that that's good and wiped off, we'll do the same thing to the housing. Which is a little harder because we want to keep the bolts where they're at for the same orientation. Reinstall the drain plug. And fill it with oil. Oh my gosh. That's comfortable. Ready to put oil in it. See what that gets us. Check the leaks. Set it up right. I knew I had approximately about a quart and left over from the CB 650R oil change. And before we put the bracket back on, we can check these just a little bit by hand, just to make sure they're good, so we're not completely relying on the cobalt to get that tight. Yeah. And the exhaust needs to be on the other side of that. So pick it up. Twist the exhaust, because it's not on there very good anyhow.
No.
We have to redo the brackets for it. All right.
Should be it right there.
Put the bolt through the bottom first. So Vance and Hines fucked us on the exhaust, so that's why it's loose right now. Normally that wouldn't be the case. We're on our third Vance and Hines order. As you can see, there's another one identical right there, and there's this one. Great exhaust. They did a shitty job at the factory though. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna tighten the bottom one first. So you're just gonna put that up there, squeeze it. Squeeze it, no, put it back on. There you go. All right, and take the other impact one, and I'm gonna hold the other side. So hold on a second. You can record that, and I'll hold it. It's got a 14 millimeter on the other side. Don't record me. All right, you ready? Mm-hmm. Go. More. And we're gonna need to get the tools for this exhaust piece. So we're gonna have to mount it and then put the springs back on there. Because go ahead and take that off so they can see. We want everybody to see what happened here. Just pull that off. Okay, you see how loose that is? Give that a jiggle for them. Show them that that is not just. Okay, That's not correct, and that's not what $400 exhaust should do. So the other piece, it does fit on there correct, but the header pipe is not correct. So we're gonna mount the exhaust, and then we'll put the springs on. So if you have factory exhaust, none of this should be an issue. You need the washer, yep. Give me the stuff on the other side. Whoop. Oh.
I want to get this in here first.
Okay, yep. Pull it back a little bit.
That's it. Such a weird angle. There it goes. There you go.
We're super lazy, so we use an adjustable wrench, but it's fine. I tightened it with the other end and then, yep. All right. And we will open the garage and prove that it does in fact start with this new oil. Oh yeah, you need the pullers. It's in the bag. I was getting ahead of myself. I wanted to hear it run. Put that shit back on there. Let's open this garage.
Springs do not get easier.
And the springs in this case are literally to keep it from rattling because it is improperly fitted on there as we are waiting for our next day exhaust delivery. Start that bitch and show them it runs. There'll probably be a check oil light whenever we first get it started. It's fine, it will go away.